Hello everyone, Ember here. Hope you're having a nice day. And in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at some upcoming Delphox decks from the set Chaos Rising. So Delphox is a new single prize stage 2 attacker, which has the very powerful ability Flare Magic, which says once in your turn, you may discard a basic foundry card from your hand and then draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand, which is a very nice consistency boost to anything you pair it up with, and also just as a Delphox deck if it's the main attacker, which it can be with Energy Storm. For 2 Pharyngy, does 30 damage for each energy attached to all Pokemon in play. Now, this does require, sadly, 11 energy in play just to do 330 damage, which is a bit of a rough climb. That's a lot of energy in play. But, if you do get like 8 or 7, for example, energy in play, and then your opponent has a couple, then it is kind of doable. It's just you will need to consistently get plenty of energy out in order to actually get the one-shots. I think typically with Delphox, what you're aiming to do is get 2 shots in the earlier game and then build up to those massive one shots to close out the game at the end of the prize race, basically. As for some other new cards though, we have the new special red card, a very, very good card. Chances are you've seen this already, but this is probably the best card in Chaos Rising full stop. But it says you can only play this card if your opponent has 3 or less prize cards remaining, and your opponent shuffles their hand to their deck, puts on the bottom of their deck, and then draws 3 cards. So quite brutal in terms of disruption, and you will have to be careful as well in terms of what draw Pokemon you play and where you attach your energy, because if you get hit with a special red card from your opponent, of course, then that could be devastating if you're trying to set up multiple Delphoxes. So, just something to bear in mind. We've also got this new Stadium Prism Tower, which says once during each player's turn, that player may discard 2 cards in their hand, and if they do, they draw a card. It's basically just here for some extra draw power and utility, just in case, you get special red carded, I guess. But, it's nice to have a stadium that actually just lets you draw cards, and it does have synergy with things like Blaziken EX. So, thought it was worth mentioning. But yeah, as for the first list here, I do apologize, it's a little bit blurry there, but I'm going to go through all the cards. We've got a 2/1/2 line of Emboar, which just allows you to attach as many Pharyngy from your hand to your Pokemon as you like during a turn, which of course has great synergy with the Delphox. And we do play 12 basic Pharyngy in this deck, plus 1 Ignition, because Ignition, although it won't pay for your attack cost, will provide you with an extra 90 damage should you need it. So that's pretty good. So you just have to have a Delphox already set up. But speaking of which, we have a 4/2/4 line of Delphox, and then a single prize of Reshiram to do 240 damage if you need it to. But yeah, the main purpose of this deck, though, is to use that Grand Tree A spec, so just trying to get the stage 2s up and rolling very quickly. I would maybe say that this deck could do with one more Pignite, just because Emboar is kind of a key piece of this deck. So if you're not able to rare candy out your Emboar, then maybe, risk prizing a Pignite is just too much of a risk. So, I'd maybe say 2 of each stage 2, or stage 1, I should say, sorry. But yeah, still very useful. But yeah, a very cheap build of this deck for sure. 4 Poffin, 4 Pokepad, 4 Rare Candy. Chances are you'll have all these cards already. 2 Night Stretcher, 2 Energy Retrieval, 2 Pokegear, 1 Recycler, 4 Lilies, 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Chorus's Tenacity so you can find your Grand Tree a bit easier, 1 copy of Lana's Aid, and 1 copy of Fire Breather, which can be great, of course, because if you do get that Emboar rolling, Fire Breather will get you 7 energy out of the deck, which is, yeah, kind of crazy. So that'll definitely put you in a good spot to one-shot some stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to give this one a go. It doesn't really feature any proper draw power apart from the Delphox itself. Then at the same time, you're also going to be discarding energy with that. So it is a little bit worrying, I guess, in that sense, but still a very fun looking budget deck, and I'm definitely excited to give this one a go for sure. Next up, those we have a Blaziken deck. Very, very fun. I do like Blaziken EX quite a bit, even though I'm not really covered on the channel. But Blaziken EX has got great synergy here because it allows you to charge up an energy from the discard pile. So every time you use that ability on Delphox to discard an energy to draw until you have 7 in hand, then Blaziken can just reattach energy somewhere. So fantastic. Just also means your Delphox is a bit quicker. So you don't have Emboar on this list. You do have Crispin, funny enough, but you do want another way of actually getting energy on board. I will say that the Monkey Dory Dark Energy package with Pekron is kind of cool, but maybe a little bit greedy. I think there's maybe more than enough already going on this deck to really warrant that kind of stuff. But you could run it if you wanted to. It'd be fun to give this one a go. And you've also got that single prize Blaziken to also do the spread damage as well. So that's nice to see. Reshiram EX is also a really fun late game attacker, but I would have thought Delphox would have been enough for late game, to be honest. That's something worth bearing in mind, but still kind of interesting. Also got Unfair Stamp, so favoring that disruption over the Grand Tree. I would still maybe say the Grand Tree is worth it. I know this deck isn't playing any breaks in, but like you could probably remove Pekkaran and Monkey Dory in favor of some breaks in. If you wanted a more like budget approach, I guess, if you were just like building this deck from scratch, you didn't have any like Pekkaran or Monkey Dories, if you're struggling to find them, I guess, then you could swap them out for breaks ins and run Grand Tree instead. But yeah, pretty cool list overall, I would say. 3 boss orders, nice to see. Got a petrol in there to find the rare candy, and 2 Luminous City. 1 Ace Roller's Mischief, actually, don't see Ace Roller that often, to be honest, but I guess pretty good at protecting your Blazekins or your Reshiram if you needed to, just to get an extra attack off on the Reshiram. Could be good. But yeah, still a pretty cool list overall. I do kind of worry that this list could get a bit clunky in the earlier turns, but I guess that's why you run like Meow VX and Pheasantipity just to get going. But yeah, seems like a very fun list overall, I would say. Next up is we have a Mega Charizard list. Very, very fun. I do like Mega Charizard a lot. So this essentially gives you a single prize attacker, which is cool. And it also gives you a draw engine, which is cool. So like you get 2 for the price of 1. Because typically Charizard EX just gets paired up with Oricorio and Dunsparce, but this gives you the option to have Delphox as well, which is cool. So yeah, definitely very cool. Very, very cool. Just another attacker. So plenty of options here. Like Mega Charizard itself can want to kill all the much bigger Pokemon that are like harder to deal with. You don't play any Wallies in this, so you do have to be careful with like how much you bench. Like I do wonder if Pheasantipity is even worth it in this deck, but I guess in the earlier turns, like you are just going to lose a basic Pokemon to your opponent getting set up first. So like that's kind of a problem. But then like you'll get back into the game when you start just one-shotting everything that they have. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see though, because like Delphox, even though it is a very good attacker in this deck, is probably there as well as more so of a draw engine, just so you can consistently get Charizard like going every single turn. So still a very cool deck though, would definitely be up for giving this one a go for sure. Next up is we have another Mega Charizard variant. This one's slightly different. We've got a different ace spec. We've got the Max Rod ace spec, which is cool to see. Also got the other Mega Charizard, which has a snipe move. I think that's a pretty good idea actually, because like you're already playing the Charmeleons, right? You may as well. But it also just gives you an alternate win condition where you're not like fishing for a boss. You can just kind of like evolve all the way up and then bonk something if you need to close out the game for 2 prizes. So it'd be kind of fun to like maybe your first KO is with Mega Charizard. They knock out Mega Charizard, then you knock something out with Delphox or like a boss play or something, and then you set up another Charmeleon to then evolve into the Mega Charizard if it needs 3 energy, and then you can like blow something up. Like it is kind of annoying because you have to find the way of getting energy on there, but like you still have Oricorio, right? So it's not like the end of the world. You'd also have a high count energy retrieval to make this happen, so that might honestly just be a good game plan for this. But yeah, I wouldn't mind trying like a hybrid of both of these decks, like some of the best parts of each one. But yeah, the Hourglass is also actually really cool to see. Like you don't see Hourglass very often, but again, another card that makes sense. You're discarding all this energy, you may as well get it back somehow. So, like you could, like if you're feeling really brave, like a 1/1 line of Blaziken in here, but that just seems greedy when we already have Oricorio. But yeah, Oricorio is fun. It's just a bit of a liability, 190 HP. It's not what it could be. If we ever get like the big charm back, the one that gave you plus 50 HP, or like the big cape, like that would be cool, but I guess they don't want to make basics too strong. And to be fair, that would be kind of annoying to have to deal with all these basic EXs that are really tanky. But yeah, still a very fun list though. And of course, Tatsugiri is also a win in my book. So very fun lists overall. Like I don't think these lists are going to be like crazy good, but still just a lot of fun to try on the ladder and stuff, and maybe have some fun at the local league challenges and maybe even some league cups. But yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about Delphox down below. Has it won you over in this video? And yeah, thank you for watching.